Alright, Fuzz Pie Guy here. We're going to talk about heat sinks for a few seconds. Figured I just give you my issue that I ran across in the past. Now obviously this Pi here I no longer use. The LAN connection don't work on it and it's super slow. But we're just going to use this as an example. A lot of people use heat sinks and fans. I try not to use fans, the little small ones, because they don't last very long maybe, and do they really blow the amount of air across that you like, depending on the environment that your Pi is in. But let's get back to the heat sinks here. As you can see, I have two of them on here. Which is fine. They're on there pretty nice and sturdy. But the only problem is when these get hot, when the Pis run, obviously they make heat. Heat sinks are made to get rid of the heat. But at the same time, depending on how good the heat sink might be, it may loosen that up. The adhesive heat it up and loosen that up. Now, the thing I came across before, a lot of my Pis are mounted vertical and not horizontal. So when you mount these vertical, especially like on the Pi 3 and stuff, has a lot more components and everything in than what this here is showing. But when you mount these vertical and these heat sinks get warm, I have had these slide off totally. Over time, if you're not paying attention, it just slowly kept moving down. Now you got to worry about that maybe a little because of all your little chips and circuits and everything else in between, that you don't short something out and ruin your Pi. So something to consider when and if you're mounting these on a vertical position, that you watch out for your heat sinks, that they don't slide down and possibly short something out or just fall off and you don't take notice to it and the Pi gets even hotter. This is a Banana Pi Pro, and why I'm showing this is because it was just convenient to grab. Your Raspberry Pi 3 will have a heat sink on the bottom if you would like to add one or whatnot, but at the same time, here we go again. You know, you add one of the little copper ones that I've seen, which I have added one in the past myself, and you gotta watch that they don't obviously slide off. But one thing I did notice that I came across online, someone put one of them little thin copper heat sinks on it, and I guess it either fell off or when they tried to pull it off, I'm not totally sure, it ripped the component right out, the cover right off of it. So it probably messed up the Pi for good. So just a couple things to consider when using heat sinks. A lot of times I don't use heat sinks, I just use a more industrial fan depending on where I mount them. And like I said, I mount a lot of mine vertical, so it's a good idea, but it could be a bad idea. And a nice thing about mounting vertical, you know, heat rises, so you're still getting rid of the heat regardless of the heat sink or not. But just something to keep an eye on and not ruin or short out your Pi. Anything's a possibility with electronics. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.